I'm not gonna lie. Finesse2Tymes has been making a lot of headlines in the recent weeks, and none of it is for good reasons. And I personally don't think that this is going to end well for Finesse. So I want to talk about it, right? So if you haven't seen, there's this clip that's been going viral online of Finesse2Tymes. He's in Fort Worth. I guess that he was booked to do a show there. He ended the show a little bit early. He was leaving, and while he was leaving, he was approached by some quote unquote goons from the area who asked him who he checked in with before he came to the city. Finesse loses his temper, jumps on top of the hood of his car, and starts going off telling people how he ain't checking in with nobody ever. He ain't never checked in, and that the only place he's gonna be checking into is jail. All right, this clip right here.
Big dog rebel!
Nigga ain't gon' with me. Oh my God. Nigga ain't gon' with me. I ain't never checked in nowhere in the world.
Big Father.
You got me.
Wait a minute, Big Father.
I'm going to jail.
No, you ain't going to jail, Big Father.
They gonna go to jail and check in. That's what they gonna do. Go to jail and check in. That's what's gonna happen.
All right, so this clip has been going viral, and this comes just about a week, almost 2 weeks after we seen footage of him being arrested in Tyler, Texas, along with his girlfriend, where they apparently found them with a gun, right? I think I seen online, they said that the girl was taking the charges for this. So Finesse has been released, but here we are less than 2 weeks later, and we've got this situation right here developing. And this is also after Finesse has had a pretty lengthy criminal record building up since at least 2010, right? In 2010, he was arrested for aggravated robbery. He was sentenced to 8 years, served about 6 of them, and was released in 2016. In 2017, he was arrested again for an altercation at a nightclub in Arkansas, where he ended up letting off a bunch of shots. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison for that. He was released in 2022. In 2023, he was involved in another shooting in Atlanta at a concert, well, at the after party of a concert. 5 people were shot during that incident. In October 2024, he made a threat towards the guardian of a 12-year-old that he had signed to his record label, Lil King. He told her, quote, "You're gonna die on camera," and then he was gonna up that fire on her. And then in May 2025, he was having probation violation issues. 2 weeks ago, they caught him with that gun, and now we got this. And I'm saying all that to say that Finesse has to start watching how he's moving out here. I think that this is probably the longest stretch of time that he's been out of jail and hasn't been reincarcerated in at least a decade. His career has been going pretty okay. He's making money, but for whatever reason, he continues to find himself in these situations. Now, I gotta say, in this specific situation right here, where he's in Texas, somebody is telling him he needs to check in. I 100% agree with Finesse2Tymes saying, I'm not gonna check in with nobody, right? I think that the whole check-in culture is dangerous. It's dangerous for not only the people that are being forced to check in, but it's also dangerous for the people trying to force people to check in, right? We see these type of situations all the time. People will go to these different hoods in America. They'll be talking about, you need to check in. We see it go left. We seen it go left with the baby years ago. We seen it go left right here, right? No matter what, there's always going to be that one person that is trying to check a rapper. And I think that it's just a trash thing that happens inside of hip hop, inside of the streets, right? Checking in has a negative connotation to it now, especially after the whole Big U situation. They were talking about he was extorting people and all that in California, but there really is like 2 levels of checking in. Some people just want you to check in and show love to them. Maybe they're a rapper from the area. They're like, man, I just want you to pop in and show love to the local artist while you here. And then there's the other tier where it's basically like, it's extortion, right? So I see where Finesse is coming from when he says, you know, I'm not going to check in with anybody. Only person I'm checking in with is the people at the jail. I get it. But what I also got to say is, you know, I probably wouldn't have jumped on top of that car. For one, if Finesse would have fell and busted his ass, the whole world would have been laughing at him. But for two, all he did when he jumped on top of that car is make himself a bigger target. If somebody was wishing something bad on him or wanted to bring some harm to him, getting on that car like that just put you out there in the wide open. You know, I seen some people say, oh, he did it because he's standing behind his security. He was scared. And, you know, I got to say, bro, I don't really believe that that's the case. I think Finesse is one of these rappers that is willing to crash out. He will crash out. He's proved that he'll crash out on multiple different occasions, right? So I don't think he was standing behind security because he was scared of anybody. I just think that's who Finesse is. He really was, you know, trying to get his point across. He's quote unquote standing on business, right? But at the same time, he's making himself a giant target. And I can't help but feel like maybe Finesse has his priorities in the wrong place, right? Because he spoke on this situation after it all went down. He went over on Instagram. He posted this on his story. He said, I could feel a blessing coming. And I ain't talking about no money. I'm talking about the peace that money can't buy, with a broken heart emoji, right? So decode that, okay? But on top of that, he posted this right here. He said, I ain't gonna lie, right now, it's best to leave me the fuck alone. I'm fighting CPS about my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter, and my middle daughter's mama just died. So now I have to learn how to be a single parent and don't know shit because I ain't have no daddy, can't call my mama, and I don't want nothing but some money and peace. Leave me alone. I'm telling y'all, pressure bust pipes. All right. And so there's a lot to unpack in that message right there. We know that Finesse2Tymes is on bad terms with his mama. She was talking about she was homeless. He wouldn't help her pay her rent. This was just a couple of months ago. We seen he said that his middle daughter's mama just died, leaving him with his middle daughter by himself. So he's learning how to be a single parent. He's fighting CPS for his other children, right? And so I want to hit on this a little bit. I want to really dissect what he's saying in his message because you could tell he's going through it. But at some point, you got to take a step back and you got to look at yourself, right? He said, I'm fighting CPS about my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter, right? And so he's got to ask himself, why is he fighting them for his youngest and oldest daughter, right? What is the reason that they got involved? Because I'm sure that there is a reason. If I had to make a guess, I would assume that his previous choices in life have led him down the road to where this is the case, where he's having to fight for custody of his children. Then he said in his message that he has to learn how to become a single parent. He says he don't know how to be a parent. He never had a dad in the household to be a parent for him. And what I gotta say is all that tells me is that you probably just haven't been there for your current children. Being a single parent isn't much different than being a parent that has the other parent there with you. He's got 2 kids that are like over 10 years old. You should know how to be a parent at this point. And saying that I didn't have a daddy, that's not really a good excuse. My dad didn't have a dad. His mama was killed when he was little. He didn't have either parents. He turned out to be a great dad. I got homies that have never had a dad in their household. They have grown up and become great parents. All this tells me is that you probably have only been there for your kids financially. You haven't really been there for them. And I think it all leads back to Finesse2Tymes just being in the streets, wanting to prove that he is a real one. You know, there is no reward for being a real one. There is no reward for being a gangster. There's no reward for being in the streets. The only things that you can get out of all of those things is death or jail. Those are the grand prizes. You know, he's in this message speaking like a person that don't have nothing to lose. I'm telling you, pressure bust pipes. It's best to leave me alone. You know, I'm reading these things and I believe Finesse2Tymes. Yeah, I think that he's being serious. He said people need to leave me alone. Pressure bust pipes. He's ready to explode. I believe him when he says that. He is speaking like a man who has nothing to lose. But the thing is, he does got something to lose. Those kids that he mentioned in that message, what do they have if Finesse goes back to jail? There goes their financial support. There goes their father, right? You go back to jail, you're leaving them kids in the same situation that you're in this message complaining about. You're leaving them with no father. But Finesse is so worried about proving that he's still a real one. He's still in the streets. Meanwhile, he's trying to be a rapper and a father at the same time. You gotta pick one. either be a rapper that's providing for his family or be in the streets. You can't do both at the same time. It never works. We get it. We can see the criminal history. We get it. You're a real one, dog. You're willing to crash out. The jail ain't nothing but a bed. For you, that's how it affects you. But you got to think about the kids, you know, and I think all rappers come to a point like this right here where it's like they're caught up in between being what they used to be and being what they want to be. I think from this message, it's clear that Finesse2Tymes wants to be there for his kids. But by the video we seen of him jumping on the hood of that car, it's clear that he also still wants to be viewed as being a real one. Somebody who's willing to, you know, die about it, go to that level every time. And as long as he's got that mind state, I don't think that it's going to end well for Finesse2Tymes. I just don't. He keeps putting himself in positions where there is no winning. You know, like take this right here for example. He did all that jumping on a car and stuff just for people to make fun of him for jumping on a car. When I looked this up, this is the very first video that I found.
Yeah, a nigga have to go to jail and check in. That's what he gonna do. Go to jail and check in. What you talking about? No say no shit like that.
Like, people are laughing at you, bro. You did all that because you don't want people to laugh at you, and they're still laughing at you anyways. The streets is played out. There's no reward for participating, as you can't win playing this I'm a gangster game in 2025. But anyways, man, that's what I got. I just wanted to speak about it. I see Finesse2Tymes crashing out every like 2 weeks now on my timeline. And just based off of everything that I'm seeing, bro, I don't see how this is going to end good for Finesse. Gotta tighten up. It's time to get your shit together, bro. You know, but y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about all of it in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And as always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.
Like, boom, I get to get situated. I'm like, the f. Let you say, Chad, nigga, woo, he turn back, man, ain't nothing else to talk about. Walk down on the, man, what's up, woo, woo. As soon as I say what's up, I see like 4, 5, like start dispersing, like moving across the parking lot, holding a, you know what I'm saying? And I'm back cars and this big niggas and shit in front of me so I can't see and shit like that. So I jump on top of the lamp so I can see it just in case I go left. I can get, you know, situate myself the way I need to get situated. I'm on point. I've been doing this show. I did this shit too many times. So let you checking the. So and now that I see the get nice on some no, I'm just saying like who y'all checked in with. Nobody. Who is you talking to? Like, don't even walk over and say nothing about no checking in. Like, don't play like right now is a bad time. You ain't nothing to talk about, bro. Bro, you just go your separate way. I'm gonna go mine, bro. We just gonna kill that like that. We ain't finna keep doing this shit. And it went like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think Holmes just came and didn't understand, like, it's just certain shit you can't say. And then rainwater right there is rainwater in the middle of the shit while it's going on. Rainwater say, man, Lil Ju warned the nigga said the shit 4 times. The nigga said the shit about checking in. He said the shit 4 times. And Lil Ju spared him the first 2 times. Like, Rainwater said, Lil Ju looked at him like, he said, man, the whole time I'm looking at Lil Ju because I know what he gonna do. Like, I ain't studying the nigga drunk. You trying to handle the business. Lil Ju kind of looking at this nigga. I'm trying to make sure I'm out of Lil Ju way. like, he said, so the nigga said it again. He like, man, Lil Ju dropped his head like, he said, then the 3rd time he said, Lil Ju like, check in who? Who you talking to? And he ain't talking about shit. Fuck you talking about who? He said, that's when you caught on. And I'm like, man, what going on? Like, and then I hear him say something about check in. Oh, I've been ready to shine. I'm finally out federal probation. Y'all currently think a nigga something to play with, so I've been ready to knock you bitches' teeth out y'all mouth. I've been waiting for a nigga, but I come in peace though. That's the crazy part about it. I come in, I mean well. I come in, I take pictures with everybody. I do videos. I stop. I give people my time. I'm super down to earth. That's why when I get disrespected, I take it to the max because I come in peace. So if you fuck with me, you deserve whatever the fuck I'm finna do to you. Cause I don't fuck with you. I ain't did you shit. So what the